citizens, Mr. Angel. Here. Ms. Arp. Mr. Byer.
Here.
Ms. Conley. Ms. Howland.
Here.
Oh.
Here.
Get a response?
Nope.
It's here. We're a quorum then. Alrighty, those citizens moving on to public comments, excuse me. Those citizens wishing to speak on agenda or non-agenda items will be allowed a maximum of 4 minutes to address their concerns. This is the only time during the meeting. Citizens will be allowed to address the DDA. Please state your name and address for the record if you would like. Any inquiry into any conflicts of interest or ex parte communication? Hearing none, we'll move on to the approval of the agenda. If everyone has had a chance to take a look. Is there any additions or amendments? Otherwise, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as written.
Motion.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Agenda carries, and the consent agenda, which would include the minutes of the regular meeting of September 25th and to accept and file the financial report. Contained in your packet. If there's any discussion, otherwise I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll move to support the consent agenda.
Thank you.
I have to do. There's the
No
motion.
further discussion. Please indicate support by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Consent agenda carries, and we move on then to unfinished business. We have an update of our New Year's Eve event, Mr. Hopkins.
Starting to throw some often had thought, well, maybe we have kind of wood snows, we may want to fire trucks. Talked to Dale Larson from North Council, and they're willing to offer 2 vehicles for us. And I stopped down and talked to Old Dowds, and the Dowds got a note with Mike from blocking.
Is that easier than just doing roadblocks for DPW?
Standard roadblocks are not safe for after dark.
What about like a fire truck?
Use fire truck.
Oh, we can use a fire truck there if we're walking by the fire station.
Yeah. Right. I'm just thinking like something with lights and make it very indicative that they can't go through. Okay. Yeah, I'm just thinking. Makes sense. This day and age.
After 2020, you don't know what.
Yeah.
Our main expenses for it is going to be advertising, marketing, and support. I was looking at renting 20 by 20 tents in Pointer Street, but they don't want to come back and take it down. He is looking at some of this tank street. Looking at only every and one thing.
Woodies?
The ones that got took down to the Blues.
Oh, okay.
Let's have it.
Them things, that's all they have.
Oh.
Looking at. Some that say this, and then the opposing ones that say this, so they're both are being advertised. And you were looking at crosswalk one. One on each side of the crosswalk. The banners, the prices from not plus, they would be under $24. Know you guys have a line budget for signs and banners. But if you guys thought sponsoring, if we had come up with funds.
Any, rather than a bunch of tents that need to be up and down, have you thought about just doing fire pits?
Yeah, we thought about getting some fire for people to follow and stuff.
Right.
Patrick Hensley talked about,
I know that's worked out really, the one in Rockford when they had it during the pandemic, that went really well. It was warm, much warmer than tents, and people, it was a gathering spot, so.
one spot we wanna have something just in case there's agreement, have the eliminated, contest. Wanna make it so there's a spot whether or not. Expense is bigger than the banners and the ones with the radio. Got a couple bids from the radio stations for doing online advertisements.
Looks like a, give a list of the businesses that are planning on staying open.
Yes, I don't have it written down from, but, that's it. Out to. I don't know whether Christine has reached out to him yet or not, she's supposed to get a service from Fremont to see if they want to go.
I think you're gonna be open, aren't you?
We're planning, you know, as long as the social district is extended, yeah.
Thai restaurant.
Oh, yeah,
was
he-
talking about being-
Yep, he was talking about being open.
A question about this. Currently, there's enforcement on the cannabis industries to close by 9. Is there anything that we can do to extend those, to keep those open? I mean, if we're having alcohol,
Is that a state law?
no, that's just a local. Because like Traverse City has a 24-hour shop. Like we only have an ordinance from 9 to 9 here in Cedar. So
Now, can you partake in the social district?
that, I guess, is a question that we're bringing up right now.
You can drink alcohol. I don't know why that would be.
No, we're only allowed to stay open 9 to 9 here in Cedar. Other companies can stay open as long as they want, as long as they follow the local ordinances.
It sounds like you need a waiver from the council.
Well, for the social district, December 31st, at the next council meeting, they will pass a separate resolution allowing 10 PM for alcohol in the social district. But the social district doesn't cover all marijuana businesses.
It doesn't even apply, it doesn't even, that's a liquor license, doesn't even apply to marijuana businesses. But it
It's
sounds
just
like you haven't.
alcohol. Yeah, it's just, there's just an ordinance here in Cedar that prohibits us to stay open till 9, so if we could get a waiver on that for that night, I mean, that's a big opportunity for local businesses to partake in it as well.
Be
That'd be
Really,
a really
really.
Assumption.
Yes, I don't know.
I know it's not,
Different licensing.
Totally different, huh?
yeah, and there's nothing to say that we can't other than just the city.
State law will allow 24 hours or,
Yes.
There's no
Jurisdiction on time limits
They
from,
have a lot more freedom in alcohol-based
Yeah.
businesses
we
under
just,
state law.
there's just a local ordinance here in Cedar that prohibits us to stay open past 9. Perfect, thank you.
Opportunity for you guys, most definitely, because I'm sure that it will be utilized.
For sure.
I know I've heard a couple of people ask, why don't you just put it in the heart and you don't have all these problems? Well, but then you're putting on events, you're putting on an event.
Well, the whole point is to help the businesses.
Yes, that's where I'm at. That's why I pitched it downtown. It makes no sense.
my only concern is the banners, if they're advertising both the Christmas and the New Year's. If you buy all those banners, and let's say next year you decide not to do the New Year's or it wasn't successful or whatever, that investment is,
Well, if that is, if say, don't wanna do that next year. That would save your cost, decide to put something different on, you don't have to think.
Have new graphics put on it. It's been done. That's cool. I didn't know that.
That's the same way with the yard signs. They like, we do graphics on them.
Like just apply like a little layer on
Mhm.
top, don't they?
But I remember that's what she mentioned. Yeah, 7 of the 10, 3 of the disagree.
But the yard ones?
Yeah.
I had multiple that disappeared. I bought a dozen of them. I think I used 5 and 3 or 4 of them at least disappeared. We just replaced them, so.
3 of the ones on the west side disappeared, but all the ones on the east side. Got 7.
I got volume pricing for a dozen.
We don't need them again for a few years.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
No, okay. Any other questions on the New Year's Eve?
So do you wanna know specifically if you can use their money for advertising or something else? Can you tell them what you
Had to do with it? I don't think we give them a.
3,000, right?
Pledge 3,000 if they're your fundraising. What kind of fundraising have you done?
So far, we've got 3 businesses that take money towards it. We've got a point to give back at your place, and, Christine and Mallory are going around, they said they got all businesses going towards 60.
How much is raised or pledged so far?
That's 7,000.
7,000 has been raised or pledged.
You still have a pledge coming from us as well. Just working on that right now, so I would say so.
That's French fry. I think Carrie's doing.
Still need more money on top of it, or that's enough to cover what you need?
I asked,
Okay, so 4,000 has been raised and.
7,000 without, with our,
3,000 pending.
so 7 total with everything, including our,
Chamber.
and the Chamber's got 5, so that would put us up to,
11, yeah.
but we're hoping not to use everybody's money, hoping to raise the rest.
Why don't we open it up to the public too? So, I mean, is there any opposition to that? Let's say if you know, community members want to help us. Has there been any thought process on that, maybe?
No, I've got the word thing, well, I teach about the donation box. Where they can fill out the form, they can write a check, put it in there or whatever, and put on there what they that's for raising.
Is there any social media on that? I know, I'm just asking, cause maybe if we can blast it out, maybe even people would contribute them to like, I'm just thinking crowdfunding might be a really good suggestion on this as well.
So aside from chamber DDA, you've got 4,000 that's otherwise raised. And what is your budget that you actually need?
We're trying to get. That way one of the
It's
raises.
just for advertising and signage?
For most of the damn places, we got $600 and change for the taxes for the 40. Out of renting a tent, that was.
Couple thousand, yeah.
600.
You talked to Grand Rental on 14 Mile by chance?
The problem is we can't, like, they can't take it down that night.
And we-
We can 100% get it, but it has to be taken down that night, right after the ball drop.
So it tents out, so that doesn't matter. So what is the budget other than that then? You're still trying to spend 12,000 on advertising and signs?
Banners. Then place next week. Banners will be under 3,000. Then, the Fort Johnson is a little over 600. Radio station, they want 600 and something, just coming up, we're at my broadcast.
Okay, that's 4,200.
Not asking for any extra.
Okay, I'm just trying to find out where you're getting to 12. How are we getting to 12,000?
He's got 4 plus R3, that's
No,
7.
I'm talking about expenses. I'm not talking about money that's
Oh,
raised.
Gotcha.
What are you
gotcha.
spending the money on? Do we have a budget? Is there anything written down? Is there of what you're intending?
We do, I didn't bring it with me, but I know that put it in a couple weeks for the, newspapers, both. The Greenville newspaper and the newspaper for October one, that very over 1,000.
Okay.
Gotta buy a ball.
Signs, radio and newspaper were at 5,200,
Balls about $500.
5,700.
And then a band,
No, we're not doing it.
if we did a band, yeah.
DJ.
Okay, that's still a long way from 12. I'm just trying to get a handle on where you're coming up with 12.
It's only 12, is just picking back to most of what we spend. Meaning, if we did the banner advertisements, and then we did ads on both and radio stations. One of them come out, and then we rate the newspaper.
Okay. We're at 5,200.
Well, bonus, we have too much money. That's a good thing.
I understand what the pledges are, but to spend 12,000 of semi-public money, I'm just saying, what's the money going to? It's an absolutely fair question. Anything that is like this needs a budget. What are we spending the money on?
So it's,
We don't need to spend the full total. But it's better to plan to raise more money than we need.
DJ, did you say you're gonna have a DJ?
Right.
Okay.
First DJ is we actually tried calling to see if they was available that night. That's how we would have to use it. They're playing there.
They're playing at the American Legion, yeah.
So then we
Yeah.
contacted the American Legion, see if that was one.
I think this, at our next meeting, we'll put a budget together and go from there.
budget for the next meeting, and at least then we can have some answers. That'll help clear it up. And anything that we may want to add to it.
So you guys, the same thing we told the chamber on itself. Don't need the money to play. The idea is
Private funds.
try to fund, but if we needed this thing.
Any other questions at all, guys?
You want to put that in, call Tom Noreen and have your event advertised in the Bugle.
Oh, yeah.
Well-
Got it? Okay.
Rockford Squire.
Yeah.
That too.
I haven't given them anything yet.
Okay. Okay.
The one from Greenville actually has to be stuff.
Okay.
And so I send her stuff. The Rockford one, I don't think they ask for stuff. They want to take stuff. So far, I haven't reached out. The Greenville one has been putting stuff in for 30 years.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
I think it's great that 90% of this event is already sponsored privately, and we're not asking for money from other organizations that fund a ton of stuff already. So, I mean, worst case scenario, we have to use it, but at this point, we're not there. I mean, so we're basically asking for $1,000.
From an idea to this in what, a month and a half ain't bad.
I think you've done an incredible job, Gary. Thank you. I know how much work you've put into this.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to new business then, in your packet on page 14, we have proposed dates for our regular meetings from January to December. Commentary on that, Ms. Falcon?
Picked a date best we could, with 9 days of early voting next year, and kind of throwing our schedule off a little bit, but did the best we can.
Well, you guys are so over budget and overstaffed. I mean, okay. Any questions or concerns on that? Otherwise, I'd entertain, that we do a motion to as a resolution. Entertain,
Second.
outstanding. Any further discussion? Otherwise, please indicate support by saying aye.
Aye.
Social District History and Information.
So this is a council decision, but, just wanted to pass it by you guys. I gave you a little history. We're going on our 4th year of the social district. It's changed a little bit here and there every year. So for the next council meeting, the current social district resolution expires 12/31/23. So perfect time to come up with a new resolution. Hoping to get something a little bit more permanent so we can get some signage made, be posted 365 days a year. Closing right now, noon to 10 PM, 365 days a year. And like earlier, if an event needs hours beyond 10 PM, that special event application, when it goes before council, they would approve a resolution. Sending it to whatever the classification.
The one concern I brought up to you individually is the Grand Lodge gets a special license, and that special license is located within the social district. So on those 2 days, they would have, if possible, they would have to vacate at least that space to procure a special license, because a special license cannot be contained within a social district. I know Rockford does the same for start of summer and for Harvest Fest, because the Lions have a tent. So they may have language that's helpful. But you can't have a special license within and I'm sure that's probably the reasoning behind this year's, not that first week of October. Problem is it creates an issue for us, for people watching and I think Jody had the same thing, because we're basically standing people in front of the door saying you can't go out.
That's not something we're enforcing, that's state law, you can't have a.
You can't have a special license within a social district. They have, but I believe in what Rockford does, and I'm a Lions member too, is the only reason I'm even aware of this, but they vacate just that portion. So you can keep everything the same, but we may have to adopt language here in the city to vacate the heart of Cedar Springs on those dates. But again, we can check with them on what their language is, just so make sure that we're clear and clean. Yeah, cause I don't wanna create a problem for them getting their special license if they go and apply for it. And the state goes, can't do that cause you've got a social district there.
So many rules.
Well, it's alcohol, man. There's so many rules.
Should have gotten popped.
I was just about to say, I thought we had a lot of common regulations.
Oh, imagine if we just thought about
I,
that. I don't
most
know.
people will be asleep by
You should
10
do
o'clock. We're working on
That's the
that.
only thing I wanna,
And what's the other side of the White Pine Trail?
then they would fix, you'd fix the problem completely there, so.
Gotcha.
And I just don't want anybody to be blindsided when they go next year and apply and then suddenly there's an issue and they get denied or something. You know, or get delayed to the last minute. I mean, that happened to us one year, I think at Red Flannel, cause I think our former assistant manager didn't turn the application in time and we ended up not being able to do it 10. So. So
Anything else? Is this right now
otherwise,
paying-
that's awesome just to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's good.
Well, good for the city council for seeing the light. I mean, it's been a positive thing all the way around. There's no reason to put restrictions otherwise that. But I just don't want Red Flannel to get screwed on that if that ends up being an issue, so.
So while we have unintended circumstances all the time.
What's that?
I was about to say it's right outside of it.
Yeah, it'd be right outside the social district. And there's a path to it.
Right from.
I like it.
Yeah, worst case scenario, I'm just saying, but if they can adopt language that just vacates just that portion, just those days, it shouldn't be a problem. So, if assuming they like that spot, I mean, that spot I think was pretty good, wide open and you're not surrounded by houses and like you would be on Pine. One concern there, cause there ends up being a lot of plastic cups and
That and the noise, just with everyone right next to residential.
I mean, you can hear it, but it's not right in your backyard. Anyway. Okay. Any other commentary on that?
What's the space right next to the not auditorium, kind of like behind CS Manufacturing? They got their parking and then that open space. What is it? Is it? Oh, is
That's
that?
what she was talking about.
Okay.
We moved it over there.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Could
Yep.
move the tent right there too, which would be almost the same thing, but it would be off the social district.
And we want to be next to the houses. Okay. Sorry, I was confused on that one.
Also a possibility. Just want to make sure we're covering them, so. Okay, Christmas light reimbursement program?
I have a request, are we gonna, staff, we didn't do it last year, but we did it prior. Reimbursement basis. I got
Howard City's Christmas stuff today. And as a business, you can sponsor a pole in town to help pay for the lights for the city. And it was only $50, and then you get a little plaque. I thought that was such a good idea because how many businesses would actually do that? I mean, I'm gonna sponsor one up there, even though my business isn't there. But I think it's a cool idea. Just a thought, instead of us giving money away. Why don't we? get
It's like
some-
adopt the road types.
Yeah.
Yeah.
in addition to what the DDA pays, like, what we buy.
Yeah, it's just like a business can sponsor that poll. So one of those polls could be the poll that I sponsored. So I've sponsored $50 to help pay for the lighting and
Can we call ours Festivus poll?
So if we sponsor all of them and they get sponsored, do we just then recollect that on the budget and reallocate those funds that we've already allocated?
Funds that would come back into our general.
Something else. Okay.
Like the question that you're asking though is we previously had a program to sponsor businesses to do lights if they qualify. If you buy new things that the DDA would reimburse them, and I think we've had 3 or 4 people do it in the past. And we had an inquiry already this year. Right, So the
Gotcha.
question is, do we want to spend DDA money on reimbursing businesses to,
I mean, that's a good way to motivate people to do it.
Contest and we can give $200-300. Right?
LED lights are what, $20 these days for like 50-foot strain? I ain't that bad.
I would agree with the sentiment. That's nothing we need to spend money on. People can
Yeah.
do their own lights.
I agree.
We want to do a contest, fine, but yeah, I would. say. My opinion.
What did you say? I didn't hear.
I don't think we need to have that program anymore.
No, it
If to do a contest is one thing, but to give people money to buy lights,
I
I
think
don't.
as businesses, we could just do a contest and
Okay,
I'm down.
watch it.
Let's go. We can do that. I don't know, you
Okay,
went
so there-
pretty hardcore on Halloween, so.
More?
I was just over there and I was just like, I don't know who's winning right now.
Anybody else have strong feelings on the Christmas light reimbursement program?
I say we don't fund it.
No, because the majority of people are, I mean, I've been decorating the front forever, so.
So. I'm starting next week.
Can we get through or Thanksgiving first? Right?
All right, correspondence, calendar, we. In front of us. Looks good to me. City manager, DDA director's report.
The only thing I wanted to mention, my numbers coming out of me. I had, go back a look at the minute next class, it's going to be regarding DDA, allocating money towards certain projects. So the DDA made a motion and pledged $30,000, to help develop 17 North Main Street, pocket park, across from Redbird. I knew nothing of this. On the balance sheet, in fund balance, we should only have 30,000 right now in fund balance, so that would wipe out your fund balance.
At the time, as I recall, that was a Mike pet project. To
So
have
it's,
pocket park
it's
there.
gonna be bid out this winter and constructed next spring.
Didn't we get a grant for that pocket park too?
It's a 50/50
Yeah.
grant. 5,000 and 295,000.
I know, it's huge.
Park?
Yeah.
The bathrooms. The
Or
bathrooms.
what, Mather?
That was heated bathrooms or something that we're talking about, right? Yeah.
The bathroom was hugely expensive.
When I hear how much this commercial stuff costs, because you know, my husband's a builder, so I hear these things and I'm always like, and I know there's other people that.
You have to
that
make
do.
them durable when Perry goes in there and tears stuff up that doesn't break.
In, the fall of 2022, no action taken to pledge $10,000 towards the DNR Michigan Natural Resource Trust Fund grant. That's at the last meeting I reported, our new score is 385. We should go by the end of November, if that 385 points secures us the DNR grant or not.
Was that for the park or
That's
for the
heart.
pocket? Okay,
The hearts,
Okay.
another grant.
okay.
That one is 50/50, like 300,000, 300,000. So if,
Funny,
no, that's what I'm saying. So we're pledging money that we don't have.
I have a question real quick. So if we're matching, it's a 50-50 on 295, but we only pledged 30?
Well, the DDA,
Yeah.
the city's.
Okay, the other half. Okay, okay.
you have the money? Okay, all right, you just, literally, I about had a straight heart attack when you're like, we only have 30,000.
what I was saying. I was just like, hold on.
So the other thing is that the city pledging money too for the DNR thing.
Yes, 300,000.
Do we have that?
So in the next year, we're forecasted 600,000 for 2 parks.
well, the DNR trust fund grant. If we're awarded in November, the legislature has to allocate the money, which won't be until summer of 2024. So that probably won't be a project of ours until 25. But still, when city council passes the resolution, we accept your 300,000, we need to have our 300,000
Right.
secured somewhere. And then the last one was, there was a motion approved by DDA to pledge $20,000 towards parking lots and sidewalk budget. For the Main Street paving that just got done and the sidewalk project that just got done. That's not in the budget, so I don't know. I'm gonna transfer.
This third,
20,000.
For what just got done, 20,000. And we had that money already allocated, or we have to come up with that?
So I don't believe 20,000 is in your current year budget. For me to transfer to cover expenses.
so where are we getting money from, Darla? What are we doing? You don't know.
Well, our fiscal year ends, June 30th, right? So some of the money that is not allocated though is in our snowplow. It's pledged towards things like this. So, I mean, it is possible we recoup some of that before the end of the fiscal year and have the new year, but
The one is due now.
not
But
totally.
Main Street,
Yeah.
we can wait until early next year to see if DDA has it. I mean, if the DDA doesn't have the money, then it is what it is. The city has to pay 100%, but things like this should have been brought to the finance director's attention. Maybe it's my fault. I didn't read the minutes or something, but, this is something we have to pay attention to as a whole.
Did you do a better reconciliation of dollars that is,
Funds towards future projects, we can, but we have to have the money in our account before we pledge it away.
Can you remind me what was in the pocket park? Like, what were we doing? It was just a bathroom and then just a couple benches.
there was bathroom landscaping, there was some tables and benches. And
Just
it was,
thinking,
I think it was artificial grass, as I recall.
yeah, I'm just thinking, we have 2 parks going in the next year.
Well, maybe, it depends on the
Well,
grant.
that's what I'm saying is, do we wanna just
And I didn't know-
prioritize
I
one?
didn't know whether we ever got the grant for this one though.
A couple picnic tables.
All those are fine until you put a bathroom in, that's the problem. When you put a bathroom in it, then it goes crazy.
I mean, it's gonna be beautiful.
Bathrooms are in the back. Here's, like, the fire station is behind here.
Okay.
So unisex restrooms there, landscaping, picnic tables. This is a cement seating area. We can't put anything like structurally over the center of this because that's where the drain goes through. If we do it, there's a chance it could be ripped up if we had to expose that drain.
Gotcha.
So
Is that
Lighting.
artificial turf then?
Where,
that,
on the 2 lower images, so where's the bathroom in the other one? No, to the right. Lower.
Your right side, bottom
Lower
right.
right.
You guys are missing a building in that picture. That building right there has a little squirrel hut next to it, I call it.
this right here.
Yeah,
There's,
that little
Yeah, I don't know, it's a little,
type of thing that looks like a, what does it look like? What do I call it? I don't know what to call it.
There's a structure there.
There's a structure there.
But
That's-
It's on,
that's the old
if it's on
white-
that parcel though, then it was probably gonna go away.
No, it's over there.
Not here.
No, right here. This is like a little log house.
Jose's, it's over.
This is Jose.
Jose's is down here.
Yeah, Jose's is here. This is the building that I had for sale, and then there's like a little lean-to here.
There's a little yeah.
It's a
One.
house.
I'm pulling it up right now. Hold on. Power of Google.
Yes.
There's actually what, 3 buildings there?
There's 3 buildings
So
there.
that isn't a complete drawing.
Yeah.
But we also talked about having some kind of like a wall there that maybe we could put a mural on it sometime that would kind of hide the Jose's buildings. Just part of a discussion at one point.
Well, I seen the trees coming down last week.
There is like a little lean-to.
Turn around so you can see it.
I'm just trying to get a street view. They're a little slow at the moment.
He came down, I think that was on Martin's problem.
There's on Marty's property, so they could get, so they're taking down his shed. Yeah, get access to the thing. They all out in the house. When I was cracking up laughing.
Oh, no, it's gone. There's,
This building
Well,
is
that
gone.
building's
yeah.
gone.
So bottom
That's
line
an
of this,
old
we need to
picture.
start doing a reconciliation of these commitments and start tracking this stuff and,
When we put the budget together.
correct, it's gotta be in there, yeah.
We gotta make sure that there's enough funds, yeah.
I can't believe that any of us would have voted unless they told us those things were available to us. We wouldn't have voted for
So
it.
far out,
I don't think that those have been put in the budget. Every year when we do a budget, it's always on active stuff. We're not, since Mike reorganized it, we never had those long-term things that were committed in that budget, which should have been, there should have been a portion of that set aside. So it's something we'll fix going forward. We'll be fine. It's nothing, nothing's gonna move with light speed, so. Okay, trustee comments? Miss Sally?
Thanks for everybody showing up. Hopefully you have a great Halloween.
Question back on the 9 o'clock for cannabis. Is that something I need to go to the council on?
I was gonna ask Rebecca, she knows the marijuana law stuff more than I do, if she could call the licensing place, or we might have to have a request from the businesses that wanna be able to stay open.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out if there's anything that you need from our behalf.
If you have a connection with the licensing people and. could
Yeah.
send them a quick email.
And just show that we can have approval to stay open past 9 and then present that to you guys. Yeah, okay.
Council,
Perfect.
not us, you know,
Thank you.
To figure it out, so.
I'll start making the calls.
Me? Thank you for getting the lights working behind, your.
Yes, that was literally 2 day or the day after that you had messaged me that you submitted. I submitted one. They had both of them fixed. So thank you.
Pretty dark back there and my car got keyed, but. And. Well, he might have been the same one that did my car. And, thank you for everybody for being here, and Red Flannel Day was wonderful, and, hopefully it'll be just as great next year at the 85th, and, on we go in our little city. Oh, I know. Do we know what's going on with the old roundup? I see something going on. Is it? They're gonna tear it down. How about that? Okay, all right. Well, hopefully something new rises from the dust. More DDA money.
I'm good. Thanks everybody for being here.
Great, the one question I had was on, have we had any facade improvement inquiries at all? Fair enough, because that's another pledge we have out there. All right, thanks all for being here. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion. Sorry.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I will.
Thank you.